What's up, guys? So in today's video I'm going to talk about what I would do to buff Steve. So for anyone who's been paying attention to my streams, social media, you've noticed that I like Steve a lot, but I think the character is lacking quite a bit. I actually released a matchup chart probably a couple days ago by the time I released this video, and basically I said, hey, I think this character has like 8 winning matchups and loses most of the cast. Now, some of you guys and watchers are probably like, what do you mean Dabuz? He is 0 to 60, 0 to 80, look at all this cool stuff he can do. It's creative mode, it's so cool, it's broken, up to up air, diamond. It's like, yeah, he has some good stuff. Like, there's no awful character in Ultimate, but there has to be some characters who are at the bottom of the rung, right? This is not a perfectly balanced game. And I think Steve is there, and I'm not gonna maybe make a video discussing why exactly I think this character isn't good. But let's talk about what I would do actually to buff the character. Actually, I guess I'm going to talk about why the character isn't good in this video. So yeah, so things that I think you could buff this character for. I don't think you could buff this character's mobility, because the devs don't like buffing mobility, and I can see why. Because if you can do things like this and have be much faster or chase people down easier, you can probably kill people with some absurd percents. You can probably get some insane ladders and combos. Probably really easy, can't people out with like these blocks if you're faster. So, while I feel like his lack of mobility is a problem, you can't necessarily buff, well, in this case, Alex's mobility. So, what I would buff for this character is the resource management game. I think the biggest issue with this character right now is that you don't get enough resources, you're too laggy when getting them, and you burn them too easily, right? So, for example, start of the match, you can't even make a weapon. Right? You need to start the match off and mine. By the time I did that whole mining process for 1 dirt, I can't make a weapon yet. I can make a weapon. That took me 3 mines, which I guess faster as you do more, to make a dirt weapon. Not even a good weapon, just a not wooden weapon, which wooden weapons are pretty bad. So, in the time it takes me to mine 3 times, any character in the game can run at me and attack me. So I'm going to immediately have to find a way to deal with oncoming pressure with whatever it's projectiles, burst options, whatever it is. That stinks. And then I need to mine again to get iron. And if I do that, though, I have no irons left for my best tools. I can't use carts. I can't use down air. My down throw still gives me combos, but I can't, like... I think the combos have a smaller window. But they're definitely not as much damage. Actually, do they even work without the iron? Yeah, they work. Okay. But yeah, so right off the bat, I have to get an extra iron just to burn it to get a decent weapon out, which takes quite a while, and not have access to my other tools. That stinks. That stinks. That's not even considering the fact that there are some characters with really good reflectors that just kind of negate down air and side with their reflectors, or like pockets like Villager or Isabel, and that is really bad. And so, right off the bat, the iron economy kind of stinks because it takes a while to get iron, and you can burn it so quickly. And you need so much for your weapons. Like, I think if you need 3 iron for weapons, so you can make an iron weapon to start a fight, that'd be really good. Now we can choose, I want iron weapon, or do I want to have, you know, the resources to use attacks. And then, another thing worth mentioning is that you need 30 mines on average, I think. Definitely stage, I believe it's stage dependent to an extent, but I think it might all be 30. I'm not entirely sure how it works. All I know is you need a lot of mining to get diamonds out, right? And then when you get diamond, it's crazy good. Look how long it takes to get diamond. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It takes 10 seconds to get diamond out. That's bad. 10 seconds is a lot of time. And keep in mind, that's 10 seconds straight. That's not including, you know, like if your weapon breaks because you're using it, because it's like, let's say on a stage where you're mining with your pickaxe. Using that for fairs and dash attacks. Not assuming that. That's not assuming you die, because when you die, your mining gets reset, which I think is awful. I think when you die, your mining should not get reset, considering how long it takes to get to the good stuff. And, like, it's gonna be hard to find 10 seconds in a single stock versus good players to mine without, like, winning neutral. A pretty good amount of times. And choosing to sacrifice advantage state stuff for mining more. So, that's a big issue. And even for gold, right? It takes a while to get gold. Like, because you need 2 golds to make a weapon. I didn't even get 2 goals in the stage. But yeah, it takes a little bit less time to get 2 goals than it does to get a diamond. Which is nice that you can have... You need 2 gold, so like you can get the gold on different stocks if you really need to. But it's not ideal. And then you factor all this in, and then your stuff breaks quickly. This is a wind sword to be fair, so it's going to break quickly. But I think it's like 4 forward smashes breaks any sword weapon. 3. Or if I do like jab, it's like probably like 10 jabs. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. 13. Which sounds like a lot. But you consider it's breaking on block, on hitting other things as well. Like, that's going to break pretty quickly. Because you use sword for so many things. And, like, that's a problem. All this character's weapons break pretty quickly. And you're not even compensated for it when it breaks. You just left with no weapon, right? Like, I'd rather if, like, you always have wooden weapons and you always upgrade higher weapons, but you can never get below wood. Because wood is not that good, but you can use it. Like, having no weapon here. Oh, God. And then the worst thing comes when you're, like, at 150. And you're, like I say, a diamond inventory and your weapon just broke. And you don't want to quite use the diamond to craft a weapon. But, you don't want to fight without a weapon in that slot. So do you just burn the diamond, hoping to get another one, and just fight at 150 diamond? Or do you just kind of say, well, I'm nerfed this stock, and I'm going to fight until I die, even though weapons, and then get diamond next stock. And, like, most of the time I'm choosing to just not get a weapon in that stock. But it stinks that you put in that situation, and you just don't have, like, something decent to work with. So, a fix that would be really nice for this character. What else is there? I think TNT in general just burns too many resources. Look how much dirt I just burned. It's a lot. Like, you may think it's a lot, but you have to realize that's like, considering you're not just getting dirt back to back, getting other things as well. You start chunking, like, look, oh my wood. I'm not sure if we can make more TNT now. Alright, that's it. So all my resources, including my iron. The fact that also, like, it'll start burning your higher level resources, including iron, which is so valuable, hurts so much. When you do things like TNT, like when you have a lot of dirt and wood, TNT isn't that valuable. Once you start to burn iron for TNT, it's like, oh man, I'm not sure this is worth. So I feel like that burns too much. Same thing with actually side B too. It doesn't burn too many resources, I guess, but it's still, if you want to ride it for quite a bit of time, it burns quite a bit. Meaning you're forced to do aerial side Bs and jumping off it immediately to minimize your resource burn. And it isn't really the worst thing, but like at the same time, it could be a bit better. I'm not getting the secret card. There we go. And yeah, like that's. Oh, and also, when you summon a craft table, once again, it burns resources. It's not much, to be fair. It's very minimal, but it still burns it. And sometimes you might be screwed out of like an iron, for example, because a crafting table just had to be spawned since the other one died, and not be able to choose. Like the fact that crafting table always spawns after a set amount of time when it's gone can be unfortunate when it lands on top while doing an attack and delays your attack, or it burns a resource you really wanted for something. And generally it's just an inconvenience. It's not worth it considering how quick it is to spawn in general. So it's just another like thing where I think it'd be better not to have it. And I think generally just, oh, and the last thing I'll talk about, the biggest thing actually is, now we have all these issues with resource management, in my opinion, that's super bad. Because I think this character might have potentially the worst resource management in the game of all the characters with resource management, like Olimar, Robin, Pac-Man, to an extent. Rosa, Luma kind of, it's weird. I'm not gonna get into it right now. But yeah, I think this character is like the worst kind of resource management system due to all these deficits. And then the actual like craft mining is so punishable. You gotta spend, this doesn't look like too long, but when you're fighting someone, this is long enough to get hit by like a stray projectile, get hit by a dash attack. Look at me trying to hold shield. After I, like, it's quick, but it's not quick enough considering how long it takes to actually mine something. And I find myself a lot like here. That is quite a good amount of lag. So you're forced to kind of jump out of doing this. which since your jump height is very low, you can't jump away from pressure or projectiles anyway. Like, for example, fighting a Samus, you can't jump over fully charged shot. And that stinks. Is it the end of the world? Not quite. Is it annoying? Very. And you just all go back into the same exact issues keep having, which is just getting resources, using them, all that stuff. I feel like the character got under-tuned in this department. And while I think other things can be buffed as well, but this character, like, more mobility maybe by a small margin, but not too much. Maybe slightly increasing hitbox sizes. Potentially... I don't even know what else, because I think this character's attacks are pretty good. Like, I think when you have, like, for example, iron weapons out, you're pretty solid. I think we have a diamond weapon out. You're a pretty good character, actually. I just think you're a pretty good character in a game where other characters are pretty good without needing diamond weapons out. And yeah, that's kind of how I'd fix this character after a week of playing them and starting to feel super negative on the character. I think I mentioned I made a matchup chart. It's on Twitter. It's also, I have a video on Twitch where I, like, made the matchup chart. If you want to check that out and see, like, why I think the way I think about this character. But yeah, just want to throw that out there as my thoughts. Peace out, y'all.